everybody, I'm live and I'm not late. So I will wait for the, there's gonna be people who are watching this when I'm not live, watching it later, so they'll see it from the beginning so I can keep talking, even though it takes a minute for viewers to start popping up when I'm live. But I know some of you wait until I'm live, or you know that I'm going to be coming on, because if I'm late, then I start getting messages. Where are you? You're supposed to be on right now. So I'm here. I'm not late. Sorry if it looks like these two handles are coming out of my head, but I thought because it's not dark, if I sit properly, then my head gets cut off, but it covers those handles. So I thought because it's not dark outside that it would be maybe that's one of the greenhouses there. And I thought that you guys might want a view of the garden. I don't know if my chair will turn this way. Whoopsie, knocking my pop. So behind me, it's hard to tell, but that's the stream against that fence line. So because there's that, it's called Russian vine, and it's kind of created a hedge. It is a vine, so it comes up in a few places, and it's really thick there because it's been in there a while, and it covers the whole fence. And I've over the years I've trimmed it up and trimmed it back, but we want it to get higher and to cover the apartment behind us. I'll just turn up for a second and show you that there's an apartment that wasn't there when Steve bought this house, but they built that and it overlooks our back garden. So we're trying to get the vine to go up higher so that it's less intrusive. Anyways, so because there's that vine there, and it makes like a hedge for birds and stuff to live in it, and it's really good. That's why I have all my bird feeders and the bird table and bird bath over there, and they feed, and I add videos of that lots. There's it's really good for that, but because of it, it made it really shady underneath it, so there's lots of shade plants that I could put there. But the way it felt, and then with the pond, the fish pond that I still haven't dug out is over there, and the waterfall, and the way it'll work is the waterfall will look like it goes into the fish pond, into the bog, and then into a stream that comes and goes this way and then disappears, as you won't know where it goes. Magic. So yes, that is what I've done underneath there, and I've painted the fence panels really dark brown so that it gives a nice backdrop for green plants, but it also will make it look deeper, darker. So as I have plants that will grow up in the shade and stuff, it'll make it look more like if I allowed vines to grow on it, like ivy or something, like it would look like a depth. So it would be like a jungly effect that you wouldn't know what was behind there. It's hard to see from here, but I have taken pictures of it. So hello mommy, hello sister, and anybody else who's watching. I have to remember that the camera's this way to look that way instead of at that lady who is doing the talking. So I'm just gonna have a drink because I meant to have a sip before I started, but I didn't want to be late because Steve told me, because there's this show that we watch, it's called Line of Duty. It's been like going for like 10 seasons here, and today's like the last episode for the season, so it's really important. They call it a series here, this last episode for the series here. Hi Connor, that's my friend Meg in Ontario, Meg McDermott. That's one of her kids, Connor. Hope you're well. Welcome to my live. And oh, it says, oh, that's did I cut out? Because it just told me that I had a poor connection, but now it says connection's okay again. So that's annoying. But oh, Line of Duty. So yeah, the series finale's on tonight at 9 o'clock. So Steve said he's gonna play it at 9. I'm like, wait, well, not at 9 because I need to put my light away and everything else, and my thing only ends at 9. So he said, okay, he'll wait till 9:30, so 9:30. And I'm like, okay, that's good. All right, just, so after my live. I couldn't be late to start because I can't be late to finish because he'll watch it without me. Because he wants to watch it before everybody starts posting about it. Still just pop. I know it looks like I'm a wine drinker. I'm not. One glass of wine will make me woo, and then I get tired. So, yeah, another shirt for the warehouse. I only kept it for this live, to do a live, to change my look. So today I'm the Canadian gardener, the loudmouth gardener, whatever you want to call me. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the view. And I need you guys to tell me what you guys want to talk about as well, although I can ramble as I do. I'm gonna cut my hair because you know how it is with COVID and places not being open for haircuts. And I know my hair is getting really long, but you know when it gets really long and you don't get haircuts and it starts going to a point at the back? Well, most of this is so, like, there's barely anything there. So I'm gonna go up to where it's like the thickest. So I have it, my friend will do it in a few weeks and it'll be about that much that I'll cut off. So it'll still be pretty long, but it'll be more even and, you know. My hair is thinner than it used to be growing up, but I still have a lot of hair, so it's not like it's thin, but I can tell that it's not like it was when I was growing up. So anyway, how is everyone? What is new with you? How was your week? What did I do this week? So, okay, I did get the visa. Okay, so I thought I had to post everything, but now that we've left the EU, things are different here. So I didn't post everything out. I had to do it all electronically. So on, I think Monday and Tuesday, I had to submit, okay, so you had to pay for the NHS's like National Health Service, and you have to pay a service charge for it, and this is ridiculous, but it was £200 per person per year for your visa. But now that we've left the EU, it went up from £200 to £624 per person per year. And we're only applying for a 2.5-year visa. Luckily for students or people under 18, it's only $470. So with the 3 girls and then me, that alone was over £5,000. Not to mention paying for the visa, which was almost £5,000. And then for the meeting, oh wait, hang on. So it was, yeah, one was 4,000 something and one was just over 5,000. And then the meeting, to the cheapest we could get to have a meeting, which is crazy because before you could just post it all in and then wait and they made a decision and you got it back in the post. Now we have to go to this meeting and there's different levels of comfort for this meeting. So the more money you have, the more comfort you can have while you're waiting for the meeting. But that was like, the cheapest we could do was like £500 for that. But that was including, I can't remember how, it was like 400 or something, but I had to, then it was £48 for them to review the documents of each person. But because I only have to put in the girls' birth certificate, passport, and their biometrics, I figure I don't need them to review that. I'm pretty sure I got it right. But to review my documents before our meeting to make sure that I have submitted everything I need to. So that was £48, and then a couple pounds for something else. I don't remember what it was. But yeah, so basically just under £10,000 for me and the girls to stay here for another 2.5 years. Love is expensive, and it's insane. But we got that done on Monday and Tuesday. We got it all submitted, so now we just wait. Our meeting is May 16th, actually. Yeah, oh, that was it. Okay, so it was 520. Yeah, it was like £440 for a meeting during the week, or $520 to get your appointment on the weekend. However, the only appointments they had available for the weeks coming up that were morning appointments, and the places are in the center of Manchester. So you can imagine with any big city, trying to get to the center of a city during rush hour, not going to happen. So we chose to pay the extra money, almost £100 extra, to get it on a weekend. And yeah, so it's Sunday the 16th that we have our meeting. So we'll see how that goes. I don't think we should have any problems, but it is appalling that it costs that much for people from a Commonwealth country to, you know, I realize that in the scheme of things, if there's only one person, that's 2,500, right? But because there's 4 of us, it's like 10,000. It's still ridiculous. It's really not fair for that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like I said, it's Commonwealth countries. It's not like I'm coming from another country trying to take the benefits of the British economy or something. And even then, like, we move around the world. People move to different places. It shouldn't be that complicated, but I think in some ways they're doing it because a lot of people have a problem with the immigration here. And listen, I'm all for immigration. Like I just said, we move around the world. People need to do that. There's different reasons for moving to different places. And like even Canada and America, that's, besides the First Nations, that is, everybody there was, descends from an immigrant, if they're not an immigrant themselves. But I also understand that some countries are smaller than others, and they like really don't have the land, you know, like the UK or like is an island, right? So it can only fit so many people. But I don't know, it's just frustrating. Luckily, I'm not bragging, we're not rich, you know, we're not like millionaires or anything like that, but luckily Steve works very hard, and he has made, you know, makes enough money for us to be able to do this and not be in debt or, you know, just, but what happens if I would have just fell in love with a regular Joe? It's just, it's really sad. So that was one thing this week, and then I've been doing my working out, and that is going well. So at the end of this, no, not the end of this month, at the end of this week, on May 10th, I believe Mother's Day is, that'll be 265 days for me and 365 days, 1 year for Steve. It was International Naked Gardening Day yesterday, and I did take pictures outside, and I was a little bit sad because I thought that my pictures would look better than they did last year because I had been working out for so long. And I have changed, my body has changed, but I also realized that I really need to watch what I'm eating and my portion sizes, and I need to add cardio. I need to do more cardio to burn the flibba-jibba-jibby that's on top of the muscles. So I don't want to give up on the shred and the muscle building that I'm doing, but I need to add the cardio in. What is new with you guys and what has happened in your week? Let me know. Have you been outside doing naked gardening? And I know in Canada it's a bit chillier, but it looks nice outside, but it is actually chilly, and it's supposed to be 0 overnight on Wednesday, which makes me mad because I'm trying to like get things out of the greenhouse and get my season onward. Like, what is this? The prairies on Canada, frost in May. So in England or in the UK, they have 2 May long weekends. The first weekend of May, which is tomorrow, Monday, is called May Day. And then the last weekend in May is a bank holiday weekend or a long weekend. And for Canada, I believe the May long weekend is the 3rd weekend in May, but correct me if I'm wrong. So tomorrow the girls do not have school, Steve does not have work, so I didn't have to, you know, well, I mean, I could have done the uniforms so that they were ready, but I haven't done them yet. And I don't need to worry about getting up early in the morning to make lunches, so I get to sleep in a little bit. The good thing about sleeping in is it's nice that you don't have to wake up to an alarm clock, or that you don't have to get up early. But at the same time, when you have a routine and you do things at a certain time and everything, when I sleep in, I get up and then I try to do my routine and I'm later in the day and I just run out of time, and it's so frustrating. So part of me wants to get up at the regular time, but part of me is like, no, I get to sleep in. I feel like I'm rambling, and I just don't have any specific topics, and I don't think I'm getting much, you know, back from you guys. So, you know, comment, say something, tell me what is up. And what day is it today? May 2nd. So there's a few birthdays this month in my family that are coming up, and that is that. And on the 8th is mine and Steve's 7 years since we started dating. So 7 years already. We've been here in England 6.5 years. That's crazy because I only lived in Saskatchewan for 7 years. So yeah, that seemed like quite a while, but I guess it's been a while that I've been here. But at the same time, it doesn't feel like it's been that long. So the forget-me-nots is one of my favorite things. That's what I was talking about last week, when you get a sea of blue, and it's just, I let them self-seed wherever they want, and then I can also move them when they're younger, and then, you know, or I'll take them from places I don't want them and put them in pots, and then I'll get little pots of blue, and I can pop them in wherever. But yeah, I love the way that looks. So this pot, I didn't plant any in. I don't even know how they got into this pot, because this pot has basically sat over here by the door like all year, but somehow it got in there and it looks really good. I'm sure Canadians are getting anxious for gardening as well and starting to plant their seeds, and in a few weeks it'll be time for putting in the gardens, even in Canada, right? That's what you guys do, May long weekend, first weekend of camping, and weekend for putting in your gardens, vegetable gardens. So I don't have a guest today, but I will have a guest next week. And sorry if you can hear the gerbils and going on their wheel in the background, that they're just running on their wheel. I cleaned their tank today too. So tell me what you guys want to talk about. Thanks, Melody. I know you're talking about the flowers. I think Mom and Mel, I think you're the only ones watching this right now, which is nice, but is it pathetic? There was something I was listening to today on my podcast, and it was talking about it was two people who do the podcasts. One was interviewing the other, but she has her own podcast, and it's saying the same thing, and I can't remember, but some of them are on radios. They have a radio show, and the way that they tell how many viewers are listening, and it changed. So the viewers didn't actually change, just the way they record how many viewers there are changed or something. But then she thought, oh no, there's no point in me doing this. And then she's like, wait, no, that's negative thinking. Like, the viewers haven't actually changed. Or I guess it's not viewers, but listeners haven't actually changed. So it's still worth doing what she does. And the way that they were talking about it, it made me believe that it is still what I'm supposed to be doing these lives, even if only a couple people are watching them live. Because I get the feedback, not only, like I said, do I get people messaging me like, where are you? You're supposed to be on right now. But I also get the people who say that they love my lives. And I know that I listen to so many podcasts that with my rambling, you don't necessarily need to watch it. You could just have this playing in your headphones, the next day or whatever, just to see if I said anything interesting or inspiring. So happy birthday to Auntie Pat, my mom's sister-in-law, my mom's brother's wife. Her birthday is today, so happy birthday, Auntie Pat. Hope you have a good day. Tomorrow is the 3rd, and there is birthdays coming up. My sister Tina, her husband Ryan's birthday is in a few days, and my nephew Breton is going to be 20 this year. Before the stepchildren that I have with Steve, Breton was the oldest grandson. So, and my stepson Thomas is the same age as him, except Thomas will be 20 in October. But yeah, Breton is 20. That's a long time ago. So 20 years ago, when Breton was born and when he was a baby, I was living in my favorite apartment that I ever lived in, 3-bedroom apartment, and it was wonderful. I loved that place. I really have a lot of memories over the years, and I can go back to phases of my life, and I really have had a blessed life. Like, I know suffering with depression and then the hard times, which we've all faced, you go through these things thinking that life is not so good. But no, overall, I've had a really, really, really good life, and it still is really good. It's probably in one of the best places it's ever been now, but it was never necessarily in a bad place. Even if when I was younger, my view in my head because of the depression made me think it was in a bad place. But especially retrospectively, when I look at other people's lives, and I know we all have to, like, we can't compare, good or bad, to other people. We all go through our own stuff. But at the same time, if you do compare, then it helps you to be grateful for what you do have and what you have had. And yes, because there's a lot of people who probably have it a lot worse than you do. Although, from struggles, love and loss, that's where, and struggles, that's where we learn the most. So we need those in our lives so that we can grow, but it doesn't mean it's easy or that we want to bring them on. So for supper today, Steve had grilled chicken. Yes, we eat a lot of grilled chicken. And steamed green beans with onion. I put a bit of onion in there too when I steamed it. And then he had some frozen chili that we made a while ago, and I just warmed that up. And you wouldn't think so because the chili already has beef in it, but chicken with chili is actually really nice. So yes, I will have my chicken, and I'll have green beans and chicken. That'll be my dinner after, and the onion. after I'm done, and hot sauce, after I am done my live. And I was going to talk about Wheezy Brown's hot sauce because it arrived, and but I left it in the kitchen. So unless somebody comes here for me to shout them to bring it to me, I'm not going to talk about it right now, but maybe I might. Unfortunately, I mean, it is available here if you want to pay for the shipping, the cost of the hot sauce and the shipping, but it'll be quite expensive to send it internationally. I bought it because I like hot sauce and because I wanted to support his business because he's a friend. But I'll still talk about it on here because I still have a lot of viewers who are local in Alberta, and he makes it out of Calgary, so you can definitely, you know, shipping it in Canada will be cheaper than shipping it internationally. But I will talk about it, and I'll try and get him on and see what inspired him to make the hot sauce. So thank you, Mom, at the shirt, that you like my shirt. And Melody, I don't always eat late. I try to make dinner, especially for the kids, dinner's around 6 o'clock, 6:30. But Steve doesn't eat until after he does his walk with Lena. So if he gets home from work at 5, and then he goes for a walk for at least an hour, then I make sure that his food is ready for when he gets back, because he's hungry, but he doesn't want to eat before his walk because he doesn't want to be heavy when he's doing his walk. So that, and then me, I usually eat with Steve, but at the same time I try to, like, the thing about holding my dinner later, besides because we don't go to sleep early, I try to go to sleep by midnight. So I like to eat a bit later because then I don't snack. My dinner is my last meal, and if I eat it later, say 8 o'clock, then I don't think about food before I have to go to bed at midnight. But if I eat my dinner at 6 o'clock, then I'm thinking about food later. And even though I could have a snack, it's hard to decide, you know, it's just, but today I've done really well with my eating, and I'm going to continue to do that. But I cannot believe how much we overeat and how small of a portion we can actually, which is sufficient. Like I said, I'm not going to starve myself, and I don't want to be like stick thin. But when you start measuring your food and seeing the portion that is what you're supposed to eat as a human, even when you're active, I can't believe how much I was eating before. Like, I thought I was doing well, but I was eating 2 to 3 times more than I needed to sustain a healthy life. So even if I was eating good food, some of it still adds up to the fat and the carbs, you know, because you can't really avoid it completely, and you don't want to. You need the carbs to burn off when you're working out and being active. But yeah, I was eating a lot more than I needed to. So I'm really watching it, and I have done really well today. Again, because like I said, doing the International Naked Gardening Day yesterday and taking the pictures, I wasn't happy with none of the ones I posted, but there was some from the back, and I was lumpier than I wanted to be, and it's frustrating when I've worked so hard for so long. But I also know that my muscles are like really tight, and I saw even in the picture, I can see when I'm going like this, my arms and my my calves and stuff, I can see the muscle, and I know that they're strong, but it's this and the fat, and that comes down to doing more cardio. So I have my cross trainer right there. I have a dance video that I like to do, and I can try other things on the internet to increase my cardio. So is there anything else you guys want to talk about? You can see it's getting a little bit darker outside, but we've talked about gardening, we've talked about working out, we've talked about food, which is the things to talk about every week. So I don't know how interesting that is, but you guys can tell me if any of this inspires you guys to eat better during the week, or get out in the garden and get some fresh air, or walk in nature, or and I know my sister and my mom who are watching, they like to go for walks together around the lake. My sister's house is near a man-made lake, but it's a nice big one, and not big by Canadian standards, but it's still good size, even a man-made lake, because I know they're in a lot of areas that they build new houses now in Canada, they will put in a man-made lake, but they're not always the size that the one is by my sister's house. But it's a good walk around it, and I mean, even having a small garden like this, there's so much wildlife in there, let alone a big lake, and all the stuff that you can see going on there, and different times of the year. So I enjoy seeing my sister and my mom's photos of different birds and different things that they see around the lake when they go for their walks. So not only are they enjoying nature and connecting to Mother Earth, they're also getting exercise and, you know, so mental health and physical health. And they're connecting with each other, even if they're social distancing while they're walking, they're still having mom and daughter time. So that's really good. So I encourage you guys to get out there and walk or do something. Walking is good because you don't have to be around anyone. You can still social distance. And even if you live in a city or a town, do you, like, sometimes even if you're in a car, just notice all the trees that are planted. If you look, you can see nature everywhere. It's surprising. So there's lots of animals, insects, and such that have really adapted to urban environments. So even in cities and towns. Oh. Oh, my light is out because my portable charger is dead, but my phone is fully charged, so I won't go off. Hopefully the lighting isn't too bad here, and again, if I can shout someone, I can get them to bring me another charger or such, but you guys will have to put up with it like this. I don't even think I'm done half my time yet, so no, it's 20, almost 26 minutes. Oh, thank you. Melody said I'm fine. So what are you guys looking forward to that coming up this week? My schedule will be a little bit different because Monday, like I said, the kids and Steve will be home. But, I mean, there's positives and negatives to that, right? It's nice to have them home and have the time with them, but at the same time, I like Mondays to be me getting right back into my week and my routine. But putting in the visa application was one of the big things, so there's still some other things I need to do office-wise. I need to put in the papers for child maintenance because the girl's biological father hasn't paid any child maintenance in the whole time we've lived here, which is not cool. So, and it's not about me and it's not about the money, it's about supporting his children and their needs, and the fact that, you know, he only because I post so much does he know if his children are eating and have clothes and have a good life. But there's nothing he's doing to make sure that they have their doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, clothes, food, shelter. There's, you know, there's nothing he's doing to for their well-being. Anyway, so Allison's going to be 18 in January, and I'd like to get the forms in for the courts for child maintenance before she turns 18. So that there is still stuff I need to do in the office, but as weather turns nicer, I want to be outside more, but I need to do the house stuff as well. And also, like, I still have the spring and Easter decorations up, which is fine because it is still spring. But well, the living room and dining room are pretty clean, but I still have a couple things to do, and then I'll take some pictures of all the decorations, and I might take some of them down, like maybe the Easter ones. So, Melody says, nothing special this week for me, and Mom says, as old stuff. I don't know what you're referring to as old stuff, Mom, but let me know what you're referring to. It's unfortunate, too, that, I mean, because it's so late in the evening, that the birds are already roosting. Yeah, that the birds are already roosting, so they're not at the feeders or anything right now while I was doing this. Oh, yeah, Mom said same old stuff. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you guys know what, you know, I don't talk about it. I don't talk about him. And I don't want to badmouth anybody, but it just, whatever. So, and then Mom might also be referring to the same old stuff for this week, what she has to do. Just the, you know, maintaining the household, cooking dinners, and all that stuff. And that's what Melody said, boring housework, blah. Because I think Melody said she needs to do her floors. I need to vacuum and wash the floors, yeah. Well, that's what I did last week, or this week that passed. I really cleaned the dining room and the living room, and you know, like dusted all the shelves and everything, and I steam cleaned the floors. Well, I vacuumed them and then steam cleaned them, And I just have this small patch in the dining room, one shelf in the dining room, and this small patch that I was sorting some stuff out on the floor. So I still have it over there, and I still have the steamer there, so I need to finish that one square. And then I'll re-vacuum again, because it's already been a couple days, and the dog hair and, you know, dirt and stuff is on the floors. But it's still looking really good in here. So, like I said, I want to take the pictures of the 2 rooms to get, you know, so I can put away the Easter decorations. And, you know, like, just focus on having time outside, but I still need to make sure that I do the balance and get everything done. But the more I can get done on days that aren't as nice outside, or, you know, colder or rainier, than the days that it's really sunny and nice, I won't feel guilty being outside, because I'll know that I've balanced it with doing the stuff in the house. And, you know, if I wanted to be obsessive with the gardening, I could be in the greenhouse on cold, rainy days. But I'm trying to balance it. I'm trying to say, no, use those days to get the stuff done in the house, because I'll be mad at myself if the house gets messy. And that scared me, but that was just the air freshener in the corner going off. And I'll be mad if the house gets messy because I'm outside all the time, and because nobody else seems to care if the house gets messy. And I'm not referring to Steve, I'm referring to the children who, even at their age, it seems like I still have to pick up after them. Although I guess part of that is my own fault, because I do pick up after them, so they you know, they'll leave things and just be like, oh, if I leave it here long enough, Mom will just pick it up when she cleans, which isn't fair. So I am trying to get on them, but it can be annoying to call them and, you know, shout them and be like, are these your socks? Can you pick them up? Is that your hairbrush? Can you get rid of it? Although I do that, and then I become a nag, but sometimes it's just easier. I mean, it is, and I tell them this too. Like, if I'm in the living room and there's dishes there, and I'm walking to the kitchen, I see the dishes, I'm going to the kitchen, I'll just grab them and take them. And I try to teach them that that's what you do. So if you're going upstairs, say you run upstairs to get something out of your room, and there's a couple things there that need to go in your room, but you're not using them, just grab them and take them up. Like, you know, make it useful. They have started doing what I do in my room. If I do bring dishes up, like right now after my live, I'll bring my dinner upstairs to eat while we watch TV. And even though the door is really far from, like, the furthest corner from where I am in the bed in the room, I'll still take my dishes. Well, I might set them on my desk temporarily. But then as soon as I get up to go pee, which is like every 15-20 minutes anyways, I'll take the dishes, I'll set them on the dresser that's right near the door. And then they're all right there. So the next time I leave the room to go downstairs, I'll just take the dirty dishes with me. And so the girls have been doing that, at least when they clean the room, or when they've been putting all their dirty dishes and cups and everything on their, like, counter dresser thing right near the door. So that's step 1. But it takes them forever to bring them downstairs. So Fridays they're supposed to clean the room, and they do, but it's frustrating, because I don't know what the balance is between normal people's clean and my clean. So lots of times they'll clean it and it'll look all right, but it's not Lisa clean. But this family seems to think that I might be a bit OCD. So then I try to be a little more lenient and say, okay, well, it looks good. It's not as clean as I would do it, but it's, you know, at least the floor is clean and you can walk in here. But because it's not the way I would do it, all the clothes put away, all the things organized, it gets messy within a couple days, because you didn't put your stuff away. If you would just put your clothes away properly, then you wouldn't be pulling it all out and getting it all over the floors and stuff the next day, because it's hung up or it's put in drawers, and it's, you know, it's just, so I don't know what the balance is between letting them be themselves and being on them with my OCD-ness to have better habits. Because I know growing up, my sisters and my brother weren't as clean as me. And now when in their homes, they have the skills to clean, and they keep their homes clean. And, you know, and again, if your company's coming over, I know that they can have it really clean, but none of them are as clean as me growing up. So, I mean, that helps me to know that, you know. And then my best friend growing up, Rachel, she wasn't clean either. So, I mean, she wasn't dirty, but she was disorganized. Like, you know what I mean? Her room would get messy, and that would be okay with her. Whereas me, it would drive me like, but that has helped me with the kids and family to understand that not everybody is OCD like me, and I need to be, you know, there's certain spaces like living, you know, shared spaces, dining room, living room, kitchen type thing, where I expect it to be cleaned. I expect you to clean up after yourself, and because it's a shared area and everybody gets to enjoy it, your shit shouldn't be all over the place. But in their bedrooms, I've tried to be more lenient and just accepting that, yes, you still need to clean it on Friday, so I want all the dirty dishes out of there. I want your dirty laundry put into the laundry room, and I want us to be able to walk through there, or you to be able to get out if there's a fire or something. But I don't go in like I used to do when they were younger and dump everything. Okay, well, this is what I used to do. So, because I would explain to them that if you clean an area, so you just put everything into the middle of the room and then clean the area. So say underneath, it's Erica's loft bed, but underneath it is Aurora's area, like her space with her desk and everything, so she can do her makeup and everything. So say that space, so we put everything in the middle, and then you go in there and you clean all of that, then that area is clean. You go in this corner, you clean all that area is clean, and you just put all the loose stuff in the middle, and then you go through that. But now, but I would go in and I would take like, what's this bag or this bin, and it's all random stuff. I would just dump it into the middle of the room, and I do that. There's these 2 bins that I have underneath the stairs because the kids don't take their stuff upstairs like they should. When I'm cleaning, I'll throw any of their stuff that needs to go upstairs into those orange bins under the stairs. And then when I go into the entranceway and I'm cleaning the entranceway, I'll take those orange bins upstairs and I'll dump them in the middle of their room. So it could be jackets, because they can only have so many jackets down on the hooks. Jackets, you know, like I said, hairbrushes, clothes, whatever. If it's little things like earrings or makeup and stuff like that, I'll put it in a smaller thing and I'll dump that on their dresser, or just put the container on their dresser. But yeah, like all this random stuff that they don't clean up, I'll dump it in the middle of the room, and I'll tell them, if you don't want me to do that, because they get mad about it, then I'm like, well, then you should have been bringing it upstairs yourself, and I wouldn't have to throw it in your room. But when I'm cleaning the entranceway, I want it clean, and I want those bins empty. They're not there just to hold all your stuff. That's what your room's for. They're there for, you know, for me to feel better about the rest of the rooms downstairs. When you guys are too lazy to bring your stuff up, I have a place to put it. So, I mean, and sometimes I tell them, take the orange bins up to your room and dump them out and bring me the bin back. But, so what's new? What is new? You guys can see it's slowly getting dark outside behind me, but it's so lovely. And I love sitting on the couch that way and looking out here and watching the birds and just the garden and everything. The only thing, it's unfortunate that upstairs from here is the girls' room, and especially because they have loft beds. Up in Erica's loft bed, you can look right down into the garden and you can see the stream that way because you're higher. But here, you can't, you can see, I know where the stream is back by the fence, but you can't see down into the stream. But sometimes you'll see the birds bop and then like jump, and then they'll go down into the stream. But you'll see them when they have a bath at the bird bath though, which is cool. And yeah, sometimes it's just nice to sit here and watch the birds. And so I'm glad that we have these big patio doors here to look through. I mean, honestly, I wish you could see around more in the garden. In the dining room, I can see the pond in the front. But one of the things that I don't like about the windows in the houses here in England are that a lot of them are quite high. So even if I had a desk pulled up to the window, the window's still pretty high for me to see out of. You know, standing you can see out of them, but I like to nature watch. So when we make the garage into our bedroom, we're going to put patio doors in, or those big bifold doors or something on one of the sides of the room, and it'll face to the pond, the wildlife pond in the front. So I'll be able to sit on my bed and look out and see the whole pond and everything while I'm in my room, or even open those and have the fresh air and everything right into the bedroom. So imagine if this was a bedroom and you could just open these right into your bedroom. All right, I am doing my job of rambling, but you guys have a job too, and that is to be commenting and giving me ideas of what to talk about. And that doesn't seem to be happening. We're at 40 minutes, so I have 20 minutes left. And the last thing I see is that Melody said boring housework. Housework can be quite boring or tedious or time consuming, and you'd rather be doing other things. But at the same time, I love a good clean room. So I don't mind the cleaning, and I love the before and after feeling. I love when you look and you see like, wow, that looks good. Like even a shelf that was dusty and now it's not. So yeah, I don't mind cleaning, and I love organizing. I love organizing. But even something like as simple as like my stepsons hate matching socks, like doing, you know, laundry and matching up the socks. I love it. I'm like, give me all your socks. I'll wash them and dry them, and I will sort through and match pairs. I mean, I love organizing things. But I mean, Steve thought I was crazy when I moved here, and after I cleaned the house and everything, that I sorted out the screws and tried to put the ones that match together. But that is just me. So Melody wrote a big long comment, which I appreciate, even though I don't know what it says yet. So I'm going to read that. It says, will you find that awkward because it is the front of your house? Like if people come to your house, they can see right in your bedroom. I mean, that is a good point, but there will be curtains, you know, or blinds that will be closed. So the only time that I would have it open is if I was, you know, say I was sitting on my bed doing my journaling, or a desk in my room. And the way that our house is, it's very private at our front door. So, and plus we're planning on extending the garage even a few more feet. So it's quite private there. So you're right. If I was in my room, and somebody came up to the door, I mean, it's good though, because if I'm in my room and somebody comes up to the door, I can see them. And you know, it's not like we would have it open, not like the curtains open while we're sleeping in the morning, and then, you know, the mailman just sees us like snoring away or something. But no, I'll love it. I'll love it. I'll love being able to see the garden, and you know, especially ordering Amazon and everything else, how many parcels come in a day, especially when I have my headphones on, because sometimes I don't hear the doorbell. But if I'm in my room, then I'll know that they're right there and they can deliver them. So I'll love it. Steve will hate it in the sense that he doesn't sleep well anyway, so he needs darkness to sleep. So when the sun starts, when it gets light outside early, he still likes it black in the room if he's still needing sleep. So whereas I would sleep with the curtains open and then wake up to the light. The only thing that is frustrating is that the way that our house is designed, which is really weird, is that the sun rises in the east and it sets in the west. And the way that our house is, so this, because it rises in the east and it goes around like to this way, is south. So we get like good sun in our garden and in that way, but it sets in the west. So that is north, and that is where the area in the front there where the wildlife pond is mostly north. So the only sun that it gets is from the east in the morning. When the sun comes up, it goes over the side of the house through the gates and it gets some sun that way. And then in the evening in the west, the sun will go this way into the wildlife pond. But if Steve's car is parked in front of the garage, then that's less sunlight that gets to the wildlife pond. And if we extend, this is what I'm worried about, if we extend the garage out so many feet, that's more shade for the wildlife pond. And although there's a lot of plants that will grow in the shade, I mean, I can still have a wildlife pond in the shade, but it's nice that it gets some sun. So hopefully, you know, even still the morning sun is nice. But yeah, that's... Are you just not going to have a garage, or are you just extending the garage out further? No, we are going to make the garage into our bedroom, and we might for a time not have a garage. Well, actually, when we build the extension on the side of our house, it's going all the way down the house. So part of it is a utility room, and then there'll be a room that's like a little gym, and then a little walking, I mean, not a little, but like a walk-in closet, and then more of that because it's like long and narrow. And then right on the end, including where we're building out the garage, we'll build out the extension to the same. That will be like a little, like, it's like a one-car garage, but we don't use the garage to park a car in anyway, so it'll be like a shop. So it'll still have a door, like a garage door, that you could slip a car in there, but then it's like barely any room just to open the doors to get out. Like you wouldn't be able to have anything else in there but a car. But we're gonna use it for all the stuff that goes in the garage. And then eventually, where our caravan is, which is our guest house, over in the far corner there, we'll build a garage there so that when you come into our property, our driveway will be straight and you'll come in and you can park over by that garage that we build. And on top of that garage, we're going to build what's called a granny annex, which is what we call like in-law suite. So we'll build like an apartment, like a flat on top of the garage over there, and we won't have the caravan anymore, like the mobile home guest house. So yeah, it's a whole thing, like one thing at a time. Like I said, we cut down the trees for the most part on the side to build the extension. So when we build the extension, once we have the extension built, we can put in the stuff in the kitchen, because we have to move a door in the kitchen, but we can't do that until the extension's built. So it'll be utility room, pantry, and then that little gym. So in our garage right now is a big workout thing and then our cross trainer and our bike that we have in the dining room, all that can go into that little gym room, and we can have a TV in there, and then the walk-in closet, and then the little garage, and I can move all the stuff so in our garage right now, a lot of the stuff is kitchen stuff, pantry stuff, like, non-perishable foods and baking stuff, like trays and, all that extra, all the gadgets and stuff that, you bring into the kitchen when you need them, but you put them away after in the big boxes and stuff. And so all of that will go into the kitchen and into the pantry when it's done. And then also in the garage is a lot of my gardening stuff, all my house plant pots. So if I have a house plant in a pot and then it dies and I have the pot, or in the winter I have a lot more that I bring indoors and over winter, so I don't need those pots. Anyways, all that stuff goes into the garage, and so that stuff will go into the little garage. And then what else is in our garage? Like I said, the workout machine, and then like the chest freezer in the fridge that's out there, that can go in the utility room. And yeah, so with the tools and all the stuff that's garagey, it doesn't actually take up as much room as it seems like in the garage, because there's a lot of stuff in there that's not really garage stuff, but can't go into the rooms that it's meaning to go into until those rooms are built or done. And then our room upstairs will become a bedroom for one of the kids, because the 3 girls right now share a room. So yes, that needs to be done. So what we need to do is, actually this week I need to call the electrician. I have a list of every room and everything that needs to be done and where we need extra plugs put in and stuff. So I have a map of our house and where we need things to be done for the electrician, currently in the rooms that have been renovated, the rooms that are going to be renovated, and then where it needs to go for when we do the extension and everything, so we can have it all done at the same time. So I have a map of the house and where I need everything done, and I have a list for the electrician. So I need to call the electrician this week. There's 2 electricians I'm going to call so we can get quotes. So that is my job now. I've been waiting for Steve to do it, but now it's on me, so I can't blame him if it doesn't get done, because it's my job. And then after that, the builder, that we'll have to contact a builder to start digging out the side and putting in the foundation for the extension. And we have to remove the trees when it's being dug out. So those are, but I don't know with COVID, everything gets pushed back, and then having to spend so much on our visas, that's a lot of money that could go to the house if we didn't have to spend so much on visas. But it is what it is. So, and I love our life anyways, even if none of these things got done right away or at all. I still have a really good house and a really good life. But it's just frustrating when you have these plans and you know that you can do them. It's just I can't even, you see it on these programs where people build their own houses from scratch and how many obstacles they run into and everything else. And here we're not even having problems with the builders. We don't even have the builders or the electrician. It's hard enough to find an electrician to do this stuff. So wish me luck with that this week while I call the electricians. Melody asked if this is the last time that we have to spend the money on the visas. Well, this is the frustrating thing, is that you can't apply for residency until after 10 years. And after this 2.5-year visa expires, we'll have only been here 9 years. So we have to look at what we have to do, because I don't know if, I think the smallest visa you can apply for is 2.5 years. So I don't know if we'll have to apply for another 2.5 years, or if there's a way to extend our visa for a year, or what we can do to extend, to do it for a like a, yeah, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we have to do it again or not. You can see in the reflection of the, no, Erica, you can come because we saw your reflection in the.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, we did.
Nope.
Yep, and also, can you go and grab a bottle of each hot sauce in the kitchen for me so I can show it off?
Each? How many are there?
Well, there's a case of them, but just get one green and one blue. I mean, one green and one red. Lena, come on. So, yeah, now Erica opened the door so the dog is in here. You can see her reflection right there as well. And I would ask for, you know, for my light because it's not on, but even though it's getting darker outside, I still have lights on in the living room, but there's no point because the live's almost over and I can't be late, remember? Can be late to start, can't be late to finish. Come here. Come and say hi.
Hi.
Can somebody tell this girl that if she wants me to bring out the the like summer clothes, you know, shorts and stuff, that they need to go through the room and put away the winter clothes, you know, because they don't have room to keep it all at the same time. So something like this with snowflakes on it and snowballs hanging from it and everything else, although it's cozy and warm, it's going to be warm outside soon, and this needs to get put away for the season.
No.
Yes.
Nope.
Grandma says hi.
Hi.
And Auntie Melody's there too, and other people watching.
Hi, everyone.
So say goodnight, everyone. You need to say it.
Oh, good night.
Is it your bedtime?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah. Oh, soon enough. Kate, kisses, hugs. Love you, baby.
Love
Sleep
you,
well.
Mom. I'll try.
Thanks for grabbing me the hot sauce.
Good night.
So, as I was talking about before, this is Wheezy Brown's hot sauce, and it is imported from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So, a friend of mine from 20 years ago, well, we're still friends now, but I met him over 20 years ago, and he is who makes this hot sauce. So, I wanted to support his business, and I wanted to try it. And Melody hasn't tried it yet, but my mom has tried it, and we did our testimonials, and it is so good. So I have a case of it, which was quite expensive, you know, for each bottle and for the shipping. But one of the, I need to drop off one of each kind to a man in Manchester who reviews hot sauces. So, but then I get the rest of the case, which is 5 of these and 5 of these. And I was hoping I didn't like it because then what if I wanted more? But it is so good. It is so good. Mom says very good stuff. It has so much flavor. It's not just like a hot pepper and a different kind of hot pepper. It is like a recipe on the back, and it is so good. And I was thinking about it. I don't think it says on it, but I'm pretty sure it's like totally good for vegans and vegetarians as well. No added, look at that, no added sugar, color, stabilizers, or preservatives. And it's got so much flavor. It tastes so fresh. And it took a few months to get it here. It just tells you how good of a recipe this is. On the back it says it's, what? I can't read in the dark and my eyes are getting worse. It says damn tasty, and it is really good stuff. So Melody, I'm sure Mom will let you taste hers, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to order more for Mom because they're gonna have it done soon, because my sister Tina and her husband Ryan and their kids were over on Saturday, and they tried it too, and they really liked it. So I'll try to get Wheezy Brown on my live, even if for a few minutes, just to tell us what inspired him and what made him come up with the recipes. And yeah, it's so, I have to be careful how much I eat because it's so good. I could eat it on everything. And yeah, but I will, and I know that this looks backwards to you guys, but when I take a picture of it, I will reverse it. So actually, let me just smile and do this so that I have so I can take a picture and flip it. yeah, so Mom says it's good. I have to watch Tina and Ryan. I'll sneak it out of my house. Yeah, Tina. Yeah, I could see that. I'll have to. Melody says I will have to order some and try it. Yeah, well, Mel, like I said, I think Mom will let you try hers. And if you like it, then you can order some. But I don't think you'll be disappointed anyway. So yes, you can order some as well. He makes it out of Calgary. So, and then because his mom lives in Edmonton, it doesn't have to be shipped in the mail necessarily. It can, it can be sent to Edmonton. But we'll talk about that later off here. I'm just gonna check my time. I have 4.5 minutes, and I'll give you guys a quick look at my Lena. Lena, who's that? Right here. Over here. Right here. Up here. Over here. Right here. Lena, look over here. Good girl. You're a good girl. She loves when I bug her. She's such a good girl. Did you show them your new ball, Lena? What's this? Which way is he? Isn't that cute? I just bought her this a couple days ago. All right, wasting my time on the dog. Actually, it's better this way because you get to see Lena, but also it's getting dark outside, so it's not exactly the view that it was when it was lighter and when we started this. Yeah. Erica is balancing a peacock feather on her finger. Very good. You'll have to do that next week for... Do you want to do it now? To finish my pot? No? Okay.
Why not?
Okay. She said why not. So here come this stand over here.
It's hard.
It's hard?
Yeah, you have to bring it up.
I know I am. I'm just accidentally stepping on it. Okay.
Not high enough.
Yeah, I'll just do that. They can see that it's a peacock feather. Okay. Stand in front of the brown. Yeah, that's good because then you can see it better with the brown thing.
Right? Ah, I dropped it.
Of course, that's how it is right now that she's being on video. Good job.
It's hard.
Yeah, but you did well. Okay, cool. Go away. Go to bed. And that is our family life in the crazy house. I'll bring you guys nice and close to me. I hope everyone's well and that you guys have a good week. I don't know what exciting things you guys are doing, but hopefully the weather improves and you guys can get your seeds ready. And actually, you can even start seedlings in the house, let them sprout. Put them in the ground in a few weeks when you have your gardening. And something I'm going to do with my corn, because corn likes it hot. And I'm going to take my pop bottles, because I drink enough pop, and cut them and put them over like a cloche. And then I can take the tops off to let air flow. And I will put them over my corn, and it'll keep it, hopefully it won't be too humid in there. I can take them off during the day and let them get air circulation, but put them on at night to keep them warmer. And yeah, they like it really hot. So especially if my nights are colder, the corn will do better the hotter it is, because it is definitely a North American crop because of the hot, dry summers that we have in North America, especially in Mexico. That's where corn comes from. So it's a little bit different than the rainy weather we have here, but you can still grow corn here. So I'm only growing the gem corn again this year and only doing some to see what I get. But even that, I'm not doing a lot. Again, I've told you guys this the last few weeks that I'm trying to focus on the plants that I do have and making the most of what I do have instead of doing lots of seeds and lots of new plants this year. So not only that, I want to enjoy my garden. And when I have too many plants, then I spend too much time it's just too chaotic. So I want to have a good balance this year. I don't want to worry about too much. But I have started a lot of spaghetti squash. And I want to do some sunflowers, which I haven't started yet. and I have the gem corn in the greenhouse already going. So have a good week, everyone. I don't want to be late. Oh my gosh. No, it's only 59 minutes, so I actually still have 1 minute. So I'm doing good. I wasn't late today, and I'm not late finishing. So I love you guys. This was season 3, episode 2, and I do have a guest next week, so I will see you then with my guest. Have a good week. Yes, you guys have a good week too, and try and help others out. Do some nice things for other people this week, even if it's inspiring through social media and stuff if you can't get out, because we have to still social distance. Happy that for those people who have got their vaccination already, and like my two of my sisters have got theirs, Melody and Tina, and my mom's had hers, like all the first one, so everything's good with that. I hope everybody has a good week. I said that like 700 times now, so I'm just gonna go, and I love you guys, and we will see you next week, and hopefully I have some more interesting things to talk about than just me rambling. Love you guys.